Hello, hello.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, look at this.
It's different. We're not on Instagram anymore, baby. We're upgraded.
This feels like I just got handed the Tonight Show.
I know. Well, Sam, give it up for Sam Pernit, who's making all of this possible. Yes. So this is a first for us. We're trying to stream to Facebook and YouTube and Twitch all at once.
Right.
And in theory, we should be seeing comments
from all those places.
But we'll see if that actually happens. I'm Natalie.
I'm Nathan.
And this is our show. So we're gonna have some fun.
Yeah.
We're gonna hopefully make you laugh a little bit. If not, that's okay, because we have this. We have our own laugh track, so don't worry about it. You sit back and you do whatever you need to do.
Are you drinking? What's going on? Pop your stuff in the comments.
Yeah, I'd love to know what everyone is drinking tonight. I'm drinking bourbon, but I put some frozen strawberries in there. Eventually, they will, absorb the bourbon, and then I'll eat them.
Wow, like a Jello shot.
Life hack.
I'm drinking juice like a child
Yeah.
because we ran out of soda and I couldn't make myself a mocktail, so it's just juice like a toddler. There's our first guest. Great.
Yeah. First comment from Tyler. Hey, yo.
Yeah.
Also, I like to put up top, if you'd like to donate to us, we'd love that. Vermont Comedy Club has been closed since March 13th. All of our shows and classes right now are free, but we do accept donations, and that really keeps us going, if only emotionally. And if you make a comment in your Venmo donation, I will read it out loud. You could ask us a question. You could request that we do something. Anything within reason. Mm-hmm. We will entertain the idea. So let's start with news of the week.
Let's do news of the week.
News of the week.
That's what I got. All right. In our top stories tonight, both Donald Trump's personal valet and Mike Pence's press secretary have tested positive for COVID-19. The White House says it will now test the president and vice president daily for the virus. Dibs on shoving a giant stick up these guys' noses every day. I'm not going to do that after every day.
Hey-o.
It just helps me get started.
Great. Tara Reid, who has accused Joe Biden of sexually assaulting her in 1993, told Megyn Kelly she thought Biden should withdraw from the race. Biden indicated that for possibly and definitely, well, I'm going to say definitely, it's written possibly, definitely, the second time, he was not interested in when Tara Reid wants him to stop.
Oh, I almost thought we weren't going to get to the end of that one.
Sorry.
It was a long walk. Sometimes Natalie editorializes in the middle of the setup. Murder hornets have arrived in Washington State. The giant insects are the size of a human thumb, and repeated stings can kill a person. Said Godwin reached for comment, 2020 is a blast. Wait till you see the maiming ladybugs and stabby squirrels I made. Suck it, human race.
There is a polar vortex happening in the Northeast right now, ushering in record cold temperatures this weekend. Colder even than the passion of two people 50 days into quarantining with each other.
I got nothing. All right, great. The Supreme Court began, this is you.
This is me. The Supreme Court began hearing oral arguments over the phone for the first time in history, allowing the court to do something that we've all wanted to do since 2018, mute Brett Kavanaugh.
Oh, nice. Ruth Bader Ginsburg was admitted to the hospital for a non-invasive procedure. During her stay, she teleconferenced into work, argued fervently for fundamental reproductive rights, and was later discharged when doctors discovered she had silver blood running through her veins and can never die. Please never die.
Mike Pence was carrying boxes of surgical masks into a hospital this week when a hot mic revealed that it was all a stunt and that the boxes were actually empty. When confronted about it, Pence tore open the boxes and exclaimed, "No, they're in here. Mother said they're in here, but only the most bright and beautiful boys can see them. Right, Mother? Mother never lies."
Well performed. Well performed. President George W. Bush called for unity in the current crisis, and Trump blasted the former president for not defending him during last year's impeachment proceedings. Said Bush, "Keep talking, Donald. Every word you say erases another war crime I committed." I don't do impressions, but
well,
yeah.
This is also you. So,
in other news, the CDC authored a report titled "Guidance for Implementing the Opening Up America Again Framework," which it intended to release last week, but agency scientists were allegedly told by the Trump administration the report would, quote, never see the light of day. Said Stephen Miller when reached for comment, "What's wrong with never seeing the light of day?" Okay.
JetBlue paid tribute to first responders in New York City by sending 3 Airbus A320s to fly 200 feet above the World Trade Center in Manhattan. I haven't seen a tribute that fitting since Winchester staged a 21-gun salute for the victims of Parkland. It's fucked up. It's fucked up.
We wrote these jokes 9 minutes ago. Just moments ago, actor Andy Serkis finished his 12-hour live stream wherein he read The Hobbit in its entirety. It was great, but I kind of wish he'd read it out loud.
Boo. A virtual ceremony featuring the Obamas, LeBron James, and the Jonas Brothers will take place to honor high school seniors whose graduation ceremonies have been called off. The theme of the event is, "Today is the first day of the rest of your life, and thanks to coronavirus, possibly also the last."
Major League Baseball is planning to begin spring training in June and start the season in July, a schedule some leaders have called overly optimistic. "Hey," said the Red Sox, "overly optimistic is kind of our hallmark over here."
That's another. We give you a lot of accents today. I don't know why. Amazon VP Tim Bray quit on Monday in dismay over the company's decision to fire some workers who protested, saying it was evidence of a toxic company culture. When asked to comment, Jeff Bezos said, "Don't ask me, ask the dolphin brain suspended in a jar of viscous liquid that makes all of the company's decisions."
Elon Musk and his wife had a baby this week, and they named it this. The name is pronounced XA12, and the baby's name has a special meaning. It means "this stinks." Oh, I'm sorry. The baby's last name means "this stinks." Musk. I don't know what the fuck this alphabet soup means, and I don't care.
Okay. It's Mother's Day this Sunday, and I just want to put a message out there on behalf of all of the children in the world, and this is that message. Who's trapped inside for 9 months now? Biatch!
Nice. I hope your mother's watching.
I hope so too. And now for a segment we call What the Trump. Trump has resumed a push to paint his barrier on the Mexican border black at an increased cost of $500 million. Trump believes that it will make the wall more intimidating, which makes sense when you think about how Trump supporters feel about anything black.
Oh, yikes.
They're assholes. That's the joke.
President Trump said Tuesday he would start winding down the coronavirus task force, and then the very next day, he said the task force will continue indefinitely. Trump definitely thinks indefinitely is the opposite of definitely, right? Like, I'm indefinitely not unwinding down the task force.
It's another one. Every joke has a voice. Why did we do this?
I don't know.
Now it's for a segment we call Race for the Cure.
Ooh. 5 existing drugs have been proven effective at blocking COVID-19 from infecting human cells. And yes, hydroxychloroquine, whatever, is one of them. However, this doesn't take into account the drug's effects on other parts of the body, and the tests were done outside the human body. So this is more of like a theoretical research at this point that's going to require more rigorous. And where are you going? Stop shooting malaria drugs into your eyeballs.
Researchers in Abu Dhabi have seen promising results in treatment for COVID-19, wherein patients, they extract blood, activate stem cells, and create a mist that the patient then inhales. When reached for comment, 300 shirtless dudes on a beach in Florida asked, "But like, does it come in cotton candy flavor, bruh?"
Ooh, Vape for the cure. And now turning to local news.
This is our last joke segment.
Is it?
It is, I
No,
think.
not quite.
Oh no, it's not. We're almost done. We're almost done. Okay,
left.
here we go.
Why are we apologizing? People are having a good time, right?
Governor Scott continued to relax social distancing guidelines this week. Vermonters have been authorized to socialize in groups of 10 people or less, doing activities with low or no physical contact, wearing masks, and washing hands frequently. But I'm still holding out hope that my full contact wine stomping league will be able to meet this summer. Sticky purple fingers crossed.
Wine stomping?
Yeah.
Great. Shelburne Community School band students have been standing 6 feet apart on healthcare workers' lawns and playing impromptu concerts to show their support. Because when you come home from a 38-hour shift at the hospital during a pandemic, what cheers you up is a 7th grader blaring When the Saints on the trumpet. And I can say that because I'm a former 7th grade trumpeter. Keep it up, kids. It gets better.
Now for some good news. An ecotourism company in Australia is seeding over 1,000 coral pieces along the Great Barrier Reef in an effort to combat mass bleaching events. In a related story, mass bleaching events are what salons are anticipating once this is all over. Ladies.
And finally tonight, a 72-year-old British rower named Graham Walters became the oldest person to row solo across the Atlantic, traveling from Spain to the British Virgin Islands. Walters said he did it when he received a phone call from a man who stated, "Pop quiz, hotshot, there's a bomb on a kayak. Once the kayak goes 2 knots, the bomb is armed. If it drops below 2, it blows up. What do you do? What do you do?"
That is the 3rd week in a row that we've had a speed reference.
Just a callback to a
callback to a callback to a callback. That's it. That's the news this week. We're done. Oh, I think we're all ready to get our first guest in here.
Yeah, we're not getting quite as many comments in the comment
section. I know.
We
get Instagram. We get a lot of comments.
But
that's what we're used to. No pressure.
I appreciate that you're probably all kicking back, and we're going to bring on our first guest pretty soon here. And,
our first guest is the most amazing person, I think, maybe on the face of the planet. She has had a huge year. What a year. And we are going to bring her onto the screen right now. Comedian, actress, wonderful legend, Michelle Buteau. Snap, 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 snap.
Yes, unmute.
You and your PJs.
Hi.
Oh no, I love it. Will I wake your babies up if I'm being this loud?
I should close the door because the baby just woke up when I was listening to you guys, and I was like, which baby is that? Because another baby will wake up another baby up, and it'll be a shit show. And this is my pajama top.
Close the door. Close the door.
Yeah, go close the door.
Look to my face. This is our panic group. No big deal. We have
all of your supplies. You got to keep it somewhere safe.
You guys are definitely having sex during this pandemic because who puts on
Michelle, this is the 2 hours. This is the 2 hours of the entire week that I get dressed at all.
Ugh, you guys.
I got a new pair of sweatpants yesterday, and it was the best thing.
You're dipping and doing it.
Michelle.
Hi. How you guys doing? Didn't you like group therapy?
It's so good to see your face. How are you holding up? For real, you are parenting twins right now, and it's a pandemic. What is up?
It's interesting. The first part, I can't even say like week or month because time goes fast and slow at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like I went snorkeling for the first time where I was like, it's so beautiful, but I can't breathe. Learn how to breathe in this new world. And I can't even say it's just because of parenting. I think it's like for everybody. And I also can't stop touching my face and thinking about it, even though I'm in my own pajamas. So there's this touch of paranoia that I don't necessarily welcome, but I'm realizing that I might be a neurotic person. What would it is? And then there's this whole other thing where I'm just like, I wish I got some faux locks like Michonne in The Walking Dead because people that have to condition their hair every 3 to 5 days, it's next level. And so I wish I just had like I wish I had my Lauryn Hill going on. How am I doing? That was the question, right?
I mean,
I think
time-
that answered it. Can I tell you? I want to tell you what happened this week in the Vermont comedy community because I think you will appreciate.
Okay.
A
Yes.
local comedian, Gladys, gave birth to twins on Wednesday morning, and she did the open mic, the virtual open mic that night from the hospital. She's amazing.
Wrap those words around my bloated mind right now.
Yeah. Gave birth in the morning, did an open mic at night. And that is the most badass thing that I have heard.
Another thing to feel bad about that I'm not because my knees are giving out just like going to the fridge. I'm like, again. So like the Angelina Jolie of Vermont is what I have.
Yeah.
She is. She really is the Angelina Jolie
Amazing.
of Vermont.
Tell her she completes me.
We will do that. We will do that. It does feel like I was just talking to somebody the other day about the fact that it feels like you're kind of like 3 days on, 2 days off. It's like you feel okay for a little while, and then like suddenly for 2 days you're a mess. And,
There's levels, there's highs and lows, and it's just like my mind goes to so many places. I'm like flowers in the attic, color purple, and it's like just thinking of like these situations where you just have to be in this place. But it's also like a beautiful kind of princess tower castle. It's just like, if there's a whole like if you have breath in your body and pep in your step, it's okay. But it's and that's just like 8 o'clock, and by 8:05, you're just like singing Brandy Carlisle in a fucking corner by yourself.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Nathan has not been drinking during this quarantine, and I have been drinking for both of us. That's how I'm dealing with it.
Beautiful though. They're like next level cocktails.
Yeah.
Wow, what's it like not drinking? And you're just like with your original thoughts.
With your thoughts.
I'm enjoying it. I started, what was it, like 4 or 5 weeks before this all happened, and so it was kind of like, well, I mean, I guess there's a reason to start drinking now, and it wasn't like it was just a thing I just started like sort of experimenting with, and I enjoyed it, and I was like, but it is like, yeah, there's definitely alone with your thoughts a little more. I can't, there are moments when I'm like, man, I just would like to just get drunk and go to sleep right now, but so far I'm holding on.
That's so interesting because I try to set the stage for my husband as I was leaving because truly we have 65 to 75 minutes alone together a day.
Right.
Which God bless your mama.
Yeah. She might be watching right now.
Hey mama, I now understand why my mom's just like a balding introvert. I mean, it's like, what do you need? I used to like have like top sitting meat and sequence. So what was my point? My husband, I set up the stage. I left a little like bar out for him, a little chocolate bar. It's like a 90 calorie fudge thing. No big deal.
Mm-hmm.
It's whiskey. And this show on Netflix about couples that go through the wilderness for a challenge. He loves that shit. He would love to like be sober for a year and then like go to Alaska and like get his toe eaten by a bear for the story.
Did you say you set that all up for him?
Kind of.
Like when you came in here, that is
a romantic.
Like putting out cookies for Santa Claus.
That's how you say Merry as Mrs. Claus.
Michelle, we got to talk about some of the stuff that you've been doing because you're like freaking killing it so hard.
You have
so many things come out in the last year. It's like, it's insane. I feel like the fact that you get a little bit of a break right now is so good because you must have been working so freaking hard for the previous year. You did The Circle, you did the First Wives Club, you had a Netflix, you did Almost Love, you did Almost Be Always Be My Maybe. You were on like
almost home. She was almost home.
Yeah, almost home. You did so many things.
You know what? I didn't even think about how many things I did until I stopped. And I think a lot of people have. And I feel like y'all own a business and you're married. Those are two businesses.
Yeah.
The business of marriage. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I feel
Trying
like
not to go bankrupt in either of those.
exactly. So I feel like if anyone gets it, you guys get it, the hustle of it all. Because what does it really mean? You know, we're relearning what social is at this point. And being social in a safe way. And well, damn, I feel like if any place is gonna like bounce back, it's definitely Vermont because you guys have like acres and acres just to like fuck around with. Like
We're really lucky.
see growing class takes me. You know what I mean? And I got an acre.
Yeah, we're lucky that we live in a pretty rural. I mean, even Burlington is the city in Vermont, and it still is like pretty spread out. And our governor is actually doing a really good job, I think. So we're doing okay. But I definitely I don't take it for granted. I have so many friends in New York that it's like every day.
Yeah, my friend who lives on the Upper West Side in a doorman building was like, "Oh, I have to put in my request for the elevator. You get the elevator for 1 hour, and you have to do what you need to do in that hour, and so no one's sharing the elevator." So
Whoa.
it's like next level planning, especially for people that don't have a washer, dryer, or dishwasher. It's like,
That's crazy.
oh, this
How do you
does
do
happen
that?
out in the West. This is our wild world. But the point is, yes, you said I did some shit. I have done some stuff. I was doing more stuff. That shit's on pause. The world will return. We'll just have like cute couture masks.
Yeah. I just also before we don't want to keep you too long. Our time is up. Our time is up with you. I don't want to keep you any longer than I said that I would. But I also just want to give a shout out to you for the work that you did recently on your surrogacy advocacy
Oh,
in New York State. And that was some badass shit. Do you want to tell people what that was, or would you rather
yeah.
not?
I would. I'll recap. You
Yeah.
know, I don't give a fuck. I feel like we have to normalize stuff. What is this? Auntie's first March. My husband and I welcomed boy girl twins a year and a half ago via surrogacy, and it wasn't legal in New York until a month ago. And you know, I made jokes about it because I'm like, what do I do with this pain and stuff like that? Because not only do you feel rejected by your body, you feel rejected by your state. You're like, oh, I can't even do this thing that I think is completely normal. And will sort of, you know, make all our dreams come true in this state because it's not legal and you feel horrible. And so we had to go to another state. Yes.
It's beyond, but like it's beyond comprehension that it was
Yeah.
not legal in the state of New York.
Yeah, but like so is like racism and that shit still exists. So it's like, where the fuck do we go, America?
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
we go like fucking miles up north and go to Canada where we fucking feel respect? I don't even know where we fucking go. So these simple humane things like we're human over American or whatever the fuck. So girl, bye. The point is, I am open about it because another thing I ran into and I know I have to go to um, is that, you know, whether you're a man or a woman or gay or straight or whatever, however you sort of identify, if you want to have a family, like, you know, the government shouldn't shame you for that, no matter what space you're coming from. And so Andy Cohen reached out and he was like, I'm doing this, but it feels like a gay thing. And they keep telling me it's a gay thing and a rich people thing. And I feel like you can help me make it a human thing. I'm like, bitch, I'm here. And we got together just like fucking The Color Purple and we made shit happen. And I can't even take credit for it. I just, you know, it was just nice to show up and see what Albany looked like. Okay.
Okay, Michelle, do you have anything else coming out in the
That's so
near
great.
future, or what should people be streaming, or how can people follow you? What should they be watching? What do you want? Plug.
I have
plug.
a Netflix special coming out the first week of September called Welcome to Utopia. However, I have a book coming out and I haven't even like made the proper announcement and that'll be next Friday, but also like what's space or time?
Yeah, right. Well, we will make sure to share the pre-order as soon as that is up. We'll share that. So thank you so much for joining us, Michelle.
Yes,
Love
wedding
you.
planner.
Very good.
Bye.
Wear condoms on your hands.
Thanks. Michelle Buteau, everybody.
I love her so much.
Keep it going. Yes. You can follow Michelle on Instagram at Michelle Buteau. And honestly, she's got so many good things out right now. Just IMDb her and watch everything. Just in one sitting, watch everything. Are you ready for our next guest?
I sure am.
Great. I just want to plug one more time. If you're having a good time and you want to make a donation, the Venmo donation is at Vermont Comedy Club on Venmo. And I will read what you say out loud. So make it special. Our next guest, this is our segment called Alter Ego.
Alter Ego.
Alter Ego. Our guest is legendary in Vermont and beyond. Let's be honest, and beyond. A member of the House of LeMay. Please help us in welcoming Amber LeMay. Applause, 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 applause. Yeah. It's happening. I can tell. Amber, keep playing, Nathan.
Okay. I really feel like.
Oh, you know what it is? Video.
There we go.
There it is.
Yes. Oh,
Hi,
Amber.
I'm doing some redecorating. I've got a new set coming in for Sunday's show, so I'm tearing the old,
Oh my goodness.
passing time by listening to you. But
It looks beautiful.
oh my God! And it says Bob Bolliard there in the corner. That means I'm using his computer.
Oh goodness.
I change it, but the keys are kind of sticky. So
That's all right,
Leave it the way
Amber.
it
Don't
is.
worry about it.
Yeah.
Amber, we're so glad that you've joined us. Of course, we were lucky enough to be guests on your show, Amber
Yes.
Live,
Amber Live.
Sundays at 8, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, cheers.
Well, you know, one of the good things about this whole quarantine thing, they loosened the liquor laws. You guys can now drink on Church Street.
Right.
Open container there. That,
Right, exactly.
oh my God.
Look how empty it is.
Well,
It might look like that if we went down there right now. Amber, for those, I just want to educate people, for those who do not know.
you got to be
You are a
carefully
legend.
taught. Yes.
You are a legend. The House of LeMay. How long has the House of LeMay been performing together?
Marguerite and I have started performing probably 27 years ago. And it was just the Sisters LeMay, because we wanted to get on stage and sing and be silly. And then as we were having fun, other people said, hey, I'd like to do that. And so we just incorporated them into our lives, and we became the House of LeMay. Then we created Beaver Pond, Vermont, where we're from, and where we live at the Hot Dam Trailer Park. We have all the characters in the trailer park and in Beaver Pond. And it's just something that's just grown over the last 27 years.
You even put out a DVD, right? Slingbacks and Syrup.
Yeah, 10 years ago, yes, our good friend Russell Dreher created this documentary called Slingbacks and Syrups, and it tells the history of the House of LeMay, but it's a great story about Burlington, just what the atmosphere about Burlington is. I really like.
Russell's in the chat right now, pimping you guys out, putting links to all of your stuff.
He's also the producer of Amber Live. So
Oh, good.
That's a good producer,
That's
right?
great. Amazing. Yes, we
He's
said
earning
it.
his money.
Close up.
Nice.
I love it. So the House of LeMay is very active with all kinds of like charities. Anytime there's a race, anytime there's an event, the House of LeMay is there, which is so fun for everyone who
and
shows
that's
up.
one thing with this quarantine thing, we're missing all of those activities. And I'm going to do a segment on my show this Sunday at 8 o'clock. You can see it at House of LeMay YouTube or Amber Live YouTube. Anyway, I'm going to do a segment on some of the events that we have done this time of year that are being done, like the cornhole tournament for Lund family. It's a bunch of other things that those people need money too. You know, that's.
Yeah, well, you're always at the marathon. You're at the fire truck pull. You're everywhere. I don't know how you do everything that you do. So what is Amber what's Amber doing during quarantine? What's happening in Beaver Pond during quarantine? What's that like?
That's what I'm doing. You know, The businesses of Beaver Pond were very thoughtful. And when the Governor Scott was going to close everything down, they got together and created a fund for me for a one-way ticket to Burlington. Yes. They do that often. And why they don't give it up both ways? Because it'd be too easy to come back. I've got to fight to come back. So, but I was very thankful for them. So they've let me stay here in Burlington in Bob's basement. Yeah.
Lovely.
Hey, a home sweet basement. That's what
Yes,
that's what I always say. Well, so here's what I want to know, because you're saying at 8 o'clock on Sunday you're doing your
Yes.
show.
Yes.
Is there a charity right now that you are particularly thrilled about or pushing people towards, or does it change every Sunday, or what?
Well, this week it's just general. Like there's just a few that I'm going to mention. I don't like to pick favorites.
Yeah.
But there are some we appreciate more.
You do lots of live shows, stage shows.
We're used to.
I would love to know, is there a story that sticks out in your mind about a time that maybe things didn't go quite right, or a time that things went very, very right? I would love to know, like, an Amber LeMay performance story, and I think everyone in the audience would like to hear one as well.
Well, there was one year we were invited to perform at the Edmonds PTA Parents Night or something like that. But it was a benefit for their junior high theater department, which we called Future Drag Queens of America. And we said, should we say it? Should we say it? Sure.
Hey,
they were adults. There was a bar. Yes, yes. And then the audience was Dr. First. And Dr. First, we all know Dr. First from TV and every place. Mm-hmm. No one likes the media more than he does. Like 7 days, the free press and on TV or something. I made comment to him that we were outdoing him in publicity, and that was fun too. But just being live, the live performances, the interaction with the crowd, that's always missed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you like live performance more, or do you like, you do a lot of film work as well? You do some commercials, you do things like that. What's your favorite thing to do?
Probably live, just the immediate feedback, that's always good. And but this is interesting. This crisis has made us all stretch ourselves, whether we need to do it financially, or we need to do it creatively, or for both reasons. And I would have never done this before, but I was just sitting home and I said, "Hey, Russell, let's do something."
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun.
We had a great time. So we got to wrap up here with you in a minute here. But who are some of the people you've had on your show, and who's coming up this Sunday? Well, this Sunday is Roberto Serini. He's an award-winning director, and he currently has this documentary that's making all the news. It's called In Bocca. It's about these Italian recipe books that he found, and they're very popular. And he made a meal out of each of the cookbooks, and with his friends right before the quarantine. It's become the hit of the circuit, so to speak. And I have Dixie Longate, who's just this hysterical drag performer. She's based out of LA, but she's a Tupperware lady, but from Alabama. And she has a happy hour show every night on her Facebook, Dixie Longate, and just hysterical. Oh,
that's really fun. I think that's one of the things about this that I am really enjoying, is that because everything is virtual, we're able to collaborate with people all over the country in a way that we wouldn't have necessarily thought to do before. And we're able to bring our friends in that normally we wouldn't see. So that's really cool that you're.
How much effort? How much effort is it? I'm only dressed from here up.
Well, Amber, thank you so much for joining us, and everyone tune in to Amber Live Sundays at 8. Cheers, Amber.
Cheers.
Love you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Amber LeMay, everyone. You can follow the House of LeMay on Instagram at House of LeMay, and also on Facebook. Russell posted the link to Amber Live, which is on the House of LeMay Facebook page. So please check that out. We're having a good time, everybody.
We sure are.
We sure are.
I feel this is a classy setup we got going on here.
I like it. Do we like this more than Instagram? I like it more than Instagram, but we defer to you. Do you like it more than Instagram? We'd love to know. Let us know. It's time for our next segment, everybody. This is Local Hero of the Week. And our local hero of the week is Carrie Ray Shamel. Give it up for Carrie Ray, everybody. Clap, 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 clap.
We always like to spotlight one person from the community who's still out there doing the important frontline work that needs to be done right now while a lot of us are in our houses. And here she is. Hi, Carrie Ray.
Hey, sorry, I'm a little dark here. Let me move.
That's quite all right.
I'm usually a little dark, but
Yeah.
even darker right now. Holy crap.
That's all right.
We're taking a walk through. This is your tour.
Yeah, Carrie,
there we go.
You also are a parent. Are we? Tell us if we're too loud and we are going to wake up your child.
Oh no, he's still awake. He's going to be way past his bedtime at age almost 13, as usual.
Okay. Awesome.
Totally
Great.
Cool. Thanks
So-
for having me. I feel so honored with these other amazing guests you've had.
No,
course, we're happy to have you.
we're honored to have you. We love we're highlighting someone different every week who is an essential worker. Would you tell everyone what it is that you do?
Social worker. I work with Beata Hospice, which normally is a bit of a challenging job, but during this time of COVID is especially challenging. So it's been quite interesting.
So a hospice is definitely challenging. What about COVID has made it more challenging, or what is something that you think maybe people don't know about the work that you do?
Yeah, good question. So, well, I was just talking to someone on VPR about this earlier. It's like you hear all these awful stories about people dying alone, and like I'm hoping to give you guys the information and whoever's listening out there that actually, like, while that might be true in some cases, there are actually a lot of people who aren't dying alone. Facilities, nursing homes, and assisted livings, if somebody is actively dying, are allowing family members to come in. Um, Wearing, full protective gear and, understandably at their own risk to be with their loved ones. So I think there's a lot of people who actually aren't dying alone. So I hope that brings some comfort to people.
Yeah. That's definitely is nice to hear. How has your job changed? Like, how has your day-to-day changed since all of the new quarantine stuff has gone into effect?
Yeah, well, as you can imagine, I think we're all like dealing with a new normal and it kind of changes from week to week. Initially, I was doing a lot of just phone calls to family members, and then some assisted livings were letting me in to visit them and others weren't. And now that I've been going to Birchwood, which is one of the black sheeps in our communities, I'm not allowed to go really anywhere else. So it's really interesting because I've been talking to some folks at the Vermont Department of Health, who you guys may know, who've been saying like you are just as safe to go into a nursing home with COVID patients wearing full protective gear as you are going into a nursing home going into a grocery store wearing a mask. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's been really interesting and challenging and overwhelming, but also really rewarding as hospice work can be.
Yeah.
Right.
What can people do to help out hospice workers or social workers during this time? Because I know people are looking for ways, either whether it's something they can donate to or a way to volunteer or support people. What's something that you wish that people knew that would help you out personally, or in general, like people in your line of work? What can people do to help you out?
Yeah, well, I think of two different things. Number one is like not to blame any nursing home affected by COVID, because I really don't think it's the nursing home's fault. It's a larger problem at hand. So that's been really sad to me when I hear like, oh, this nursing home wasn't doing enough protective measures, or their staff wasn't well enough informed. Like, I think it's a larger problem than that. And secondly, like, I know my company, Beata, recently sung outside of a nursing home. So anything you can do to provide entertainment from the outside, whether it's even like walking your dog by, or me and my friend just like brought our hula hoops and did some hula hooping outside, like even as simple as waving to the residents inside. They just like so appreciate that because they're isolated
And that's
enough as it is, but just like see people on the outside that care about them means so much to them.
Hmm.
is that so that's something that like a random person, say me, could drive and park in a parking lot in a nursing home and go find a random window of someone and just do, I mean, obviously not anything bad, but like the hula hooping, for example,
Like,
or singing,
let's say you had a full head to toe cow costume that you wanted to employ in some kind of dance maneuver outside of the window.
but they're not going to like call the cops on that hypothetical person if they were to
No,
do something
a
like
huge
that.
shout out to the woman who runs, is it Ruki's Root Beer in the New North End? Like she dresses up in her dinosaur outfit and like dances outside of Birchwood. It's like amazing. Like
Fun.
anything that's just silly and would make them laugh means millions right now.
Yeah.
Very, very
That's great.
cool.
That's great.
See, that's something that I didn't think of, and is something that seems like it's very easy for people to do. They're not going inside. They're not putting themselves at risk. They're outside, but they're still bringing joy to the people, the residents of these nursing homes. That is
I
incredible.
think that's so important.
Jenna Pacito is suggesting that people go out and go in front of the windows and do TikTok dances. That's on our YouTube channel. Jenna is saying TikTok dances would be fun. I agree. I think that's very fun.
It's so important. I was just talking to someone the other day who was a runner, and he's got like the mask on and everything, and he's trying to stay away from people while he's running. But he said that he's trying to make up for the physical distance between himself and the other people with the personality. So like every time he distances himself from somebody on the street, he yells "hello," and he's all friendly, and because he's like, I'm not staying away from you because I don't like you, and so he's trying to like overcome the physical distance with just like sheer optimism. And I think that's so important right now. Like we're all scared of each other, because of social distancing, but it doesn't mean we can't help each other from a distance, right?
Well, right, and it's really sad. I'm really trying to rework my language. Like it shouldn't be social distancing; it should be physically distancing. Because at any time, we all need the social closeness that we have, regardless of age or disability or whatever. So, yeah.
That's a
So I
really
encourage
good point.
anybody who's watching, like seriously, it just means a million to like walk by a nursing home and just even wave or bring your dog by. That can be a huge difference in someone's day. So
I love it.
That's great.
Thank you so much, Carrie, for joining us.
Yeah,
This was incredible, and I hope everyone who is watching considers doing that suggestion, because it's so easy and doesn't cost anything, and will bring a lot of joy to people's lives. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Stay
Thank
safe
you
and
for having me. Great to see you guys.
You too.
bye.
Bye.
That was our local hero of the week, Carrie Ray. And I think now is a good time to take out one of these strawberries soaked in bourbon and eat it.
Is that like, do we have a segment for that? Is this like the bourbon strawberry eating
Yes,
segment?
Sam, do you have a placard
graphic
for that?
No.
All right. It's time for our weekly segment that we do. We do it every single week. We do it every week, and people love it. We are going to do our Q-tips with Brian. This is Quarantine Tips with Brian DeLabriere. Of course, he's been on the run for a little while, so I'm very interested to see where
This whole thing
is.
started just because we wanted to know some quarantine tips from our friend Brian, and then he got himself.
It is spun out.
He got it into his head that he had to be on the run, and we're not really sure why. But we're going to bring him in here and see what kind of tips he wants to give us, or where he is, or
I think he was under a bridge in Winooski last week.
There's some crazy stuff going on. Oh boy,
everybody.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Oh, okay. Well,
Hey.
This is the first time, Brian, in a while I've seen you indoors, so I'm happy to see that. What's going?
For the time being, I am indoors, and I want to thank you again for letting me come on the show here, Nathan and Natalie, and I hope you're doing well.
Yeah, we're doing okay.
Yeah.
I can't help but notice that there are weapons on your wall.
Well, right now I am squatting in a family's house, and you are actually seeing me live from the baby monitor.
Oh my.
So you're squatting, so they don't know that you're there, but there is an active baby monitor.
Yeah, I hooked up this Guitar Hero microphone to it because I knew that you guys are doing this show. I just wanted to drop in and help anyone who could have time to help. I don't have much time because the family is downstairs playing Twitch together, and I probably have like 10 minutes at max.
Are you suggesting that that those weapons are hung up in the baby's room?
All I'll say is that this baby is rough and not good looking. It's a scary
good looking.
baby.
Not good looking.
Yeah, I've gotten to know this family very well, but they do not know I'm here. I heard the dad coughing, so he will be up here in about 3 minutes to take his nebulizer.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, Brian, do you have any tips for people this week? What did you want to share with everyone this week?
So, as you know, for the last 15 weeks, I've been coming on this show and giving tips to get through quarantine because I'm an expert on it. I'm actually certified by the Academy. And yeah, in the
Academy
past.
of Motion Picture?
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, so like last week I've been on the run because the first week I did this, I was giving cooking tips and someone in the comment section said that I wasn't funny, and I've been on the run from the comment section ever since. And it appears this week I might be in luck because there hasn't been many comments. So last week I took people's questions, and this week I'll be dispelling rumors. And I was kind of banking on there being people in the comments sharing common knowledge that they've heard about like avoiding COVID-19 or coronavirus or whatever your parents call it. And if they don't want to do that, I'm going to rely on YouTube to carry the brunt of that work.
So you want to know rumors that people have heard about COVID, and you want to dispel myths and set people straight?
Yeah, because I would say 98% of the things you've heard about how to avoid getting COVID are not true.
Okay.
Okay, Brian,
totally invisible to us.
Can you come out just a little bit?
And like, I know you don't want to show your face.
Look at this. This is my hydroponic garden I've been growing in their closet.
Well,
you made a hydroponic garden in their closet?
It's where most of my food comes from, and they have not noticed. They just hear a bunch of bubbling, and the dad has been fucking and going crazy. Sorry to swear, but I haven't talked to anyone in a week.
That's all right. I know.
Brian, are we the only people you talk to?
Yes, I haven't talked to anyone in about 3 years.
Other than us. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so we got some rumors coming in that people want. On YouTube, Matt says, I heard a rumor that COVID is spread by birds.
This is somewhat true. If you're someone like me who likes exotic pets and you do have things like parrots, parakeets, macaws in your house, and they do eat up, and you feed them from your mouth because it's fun and cute, you can transfer it that way. So if they're eating frickin' seeds out your lips and then going over to your neighbor's house and pecking at their body, they will get coronavirus. But everything else you heard is not true about birds.
Okay, great.
Okay.
I want to keep up with the comments here on Facebook. Anne asks,
That's for me.
That's not a question. That's just an observation.
Anne is noticing that the more you talk, the more bourbon strawberries I eat, and there is a correlation, but
yeah, not a correlation, but not a.
You wouldn't be the first person that I killed without touching them.
Okay, great. Jen wants to know, drink Lysol. I guess she's heard that.
Drink Lysol. What about it?
That's a way to cure it, I think, is the rumor.
I mean, it has. I think that was just like a conspiracy started by Lysol to sell more Lysol, because I have been ingesting Lysol for years now, and it has not really had an effect on much. It's kind of just a hyped up thing, and I would say only do it if you're bored, but it's not something I would rely on. I would say there's probably a million other ways to avoid it that are much more guaranteed.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell people who are watching not to drink Lysol.
Yeah, that would probably be a good
thing. That's a.
Oh, you can.
Don't drink it.
But you can.
Someone, Harrison on Facebook is saying that he heard that not licking doorknobs is crucial for avoiding COVID. Is that true?
I'm sorry, but Harris, you're stupid, and you actually have to go around licking doorknobs because it's something I've been doing. Have you ever heard of herd immunity?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But they don't know for sure that is how things work with.
I know this isn't herd immunity. You know how there's 6 senses? There's taste, touch, smell, hearing. There's 4. What's the other 2?
That's what we want to know.
Anyway, it's called herd immunity because they're talking about ears, but this is, where was I? Taste immunity. Oh God, it's so hard to talk to people who don't know anything about this stuff. But yeah, the more things you lick, the more used to it you get.
Imagine
So
it's
there
hard
are
to talk to anybody about anything, right? At this point in your life.
All right,
There's
we have time for one more. We have time for one more
Couple
rumor. It looks
There's 2 more here.
It looks like yeah. Oh, no, 2 more. Real quick. Rachel wants to know, can I kill it with light from my insides?
yes. I have one of those UV cleaners for my cell phone, and the other day I opened my mouth, put it over it like a freaking little scanning machine, like a little freaking, what is that, fax machine? What is that? What are those thing that people in the 90s would put their asses on to
Xerox?
take a picture?
Xerox?
Yes. Yeah, put it over your mouth as if your mouth is your ass in the 90s, and it's a Xerox machine, and that will kill pretty much any coronavirus in your mouth.
Wow.
This
Okay,
is
great.
really
And this
great.
is good. And then one more final. This is the final one that we have time for. But thank you, Brian, so much for being with us.
Yeah.
Jen Cataret heard that COVID spreads over Wi-Fi. Can you confirm or deny that?
I have to be quiet because I just heard the dad coming up the stairs.
Okay. Well, I don't want to risk your
Safety.
Your
or-
safety.
No, it's I would say definitely switch back to track phones, because I know some friends who didn't have coronavirus, but then they started using their Xfinity Wi-Fi, and now they're freaking riddled with it. They look like they have leprosy on a level I've never seen before.
I don't think that is coronavirus. Is it possible that they actually have leprosy or something else?
I mean, a lot of us have things that we're not sure about, right, Natalie? So once we start going down that path of, is this what I have or is that what I have, it's really not healthy. So why don't we just write off everything we have as coronavirus for the next year, okay? Like, I don't have anything anyone's accused me of having, right?
Sure, Brian. Whatever makes you feel good, buddy. We're gonna, we gotta go, Brian. But we'll check in with
Why?
you next week.
Why?
Okay,
Well,
bye, Brian.
Why?
Why? No, goodbye. Oh,
Ooh,
that was a
jeez.
rough one.
Yep. I was so relieved when I saw that he was indoors, because last time he was under a bridge.
He
And
was
then
under a bridge.
It seems like he's somehow in more danger this week than last week.
I know. I think he's living in a house where there are weapons
Other people.
mounted to the wall.
Someone
I
else's
feel like
house.
he said the dad was coming upstairs. I would be afraid that I would get hatcheted. Anyway, that was Q-Tips with Brian. We hope it was helpful. He'll be back next week with more Q-Tips.
Before we end our final guest, anything else to tell our lovely audience here before we?
Just check out all the shows that we've got going on. Vermont Comedy Club. There are family-friendly shows Wednesdays and Saturdays at 1 p.m. We've got some short-form shows for adults. We've got some open mic. We got some game nights. It's very, very fun, and we're going to be doing a lot more stuff. Please like and subscribe. Subscribe to our Twitch, subscribe to our YouTube. That is going to help us out a lot. So if you're watching on that, please do that. And that's it, I think. Do you have anything?
Nope.
All right. We're going to bring on our musical guest.
Hooray!
This is someone that we've known for quite a while, and he's just a real cool dude.
We haven't seen him in a while, though, so we're glad to have him. And he just wrapped up a very busy weekend of music for the 10th annual Waking Windows Festival. Please welcome Patty Reagan.
Yay! Clap, 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 clap. Hi!
Hi.
Hi, Patty.
How are
Can
ya?
you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Hello.
Hi, how are you two?
Oh,
Great.
we're just peachy.
I love your show.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And Nathan, you're quite a
Say
pianist.
that.
What's that?
I said you're quite a pianist.
Oh, it's all fake. It's all just it's all the same 2 chords over and over
There's
again.
just 2 buttons and you just are smashing them.
I'm just the cat.
Cool.
So, Waking Windows, you're one of the producers. 10
Mhm.
years. This weekend marks 10.
Ish. Yeah. 10 years ish. Yeah.
We'll take it. No,
Platform 9 3/4.
no, we're gonna. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. This is the magical in between.
Yeah.
When was it? Was it like what, March 10th or something, where you started talking about, oh, this is maybe not going to happen the way we thought?
Yeah, it was around then. I think when we finally made the call, it was probably, it went really fast, just like everything. And everything like zoomed by, and then we were in like this suspended animation.
Yeah. How did it go? I mean, I'm assuming there's
this last weekend. Yeah, it was cool.
So I mean, much like what we're doing here, I'm sure there's like a steep learning curve in terms of like, hey, guess what? Now you have to figure out how to put all this stuff online. But how did everything go, and did it feel like a success to you?
Yeah, it felt like a success. We like put it together in 10 days, which was a lot of learning tech and a lot of contacting people, but luckily people are available, that's tough, like getting people to sign on board. And it was cool. Like you guys were saying earlier, you get to sort of collaborate with people from further away. And so we had friends from all over that got to perform and that might not have been able to. And we were able to do some of our like standard stuff. We did a pizza party where we ordered a bunch of pizzas and drove them around and delivered them to people's houses. And we got to have a yoga class and do the reading series. And we had authors from all over the country reading that might not have been able to do it. So it was cool. It was like exhausting, which felt like on brand for
normal a little bit.
Yeah. It was some normalcy and kind of a sea of
abnormal. It's interesting too to like try to figure out like, how can we do some of the things we do physically in a virtual space? Sometimes there's ways to do it and sometimes there's not, or sometimes you have to change it or pivot it somehow. And
yeah, totally. It was fun. I'm like glad we did it. I'm glad it's behind me. I feel like we, depending on how things go, like we might do something similar, smaller scale at some point, but it's really fun to just, as kind of crazy as things are, it's fun to see people doing stuff like you guys are doing right now, or putting that together for last weekend. Unfortunately, it was like it would have been the nicest weather for the Waking Windows Festival.
It was beautiful. It was so nice. And of course, our dear friend Annie Russell produces the comedy.
Oh yeah,
Windows, and it's her birthday weekend, and so she always comes to Vermont for her birthday weekend, even though she lives in Chicago. And
it was really fun to be able to do arguments and grievances, though. That was like, I don't know. I think I saw more Waking Windows than I ever get to see, because I'm usually like,
totally.
But I had to literally watch every second of it.
Yeah, I loved the sketch that Brian Parmalee and Jenna Pasito did. It was so funny. Yeah. The maple syrup on the floors to make like this big bar floor was so. And then of course the like walking into the comedy show and then realizing what it is and walking out.
Yeah.
A plus material.
We posted that on our Facebook page.
We did. Yeah.
That was so good. And like that was one of those things where we had it slotted for like a period of time, and then throughout the weekend just ended up playing it like 4 or 5 more times.
Yeah, that's great. I tuned into the lighting, the Liggy.
With Liggy?
Yeah, Liggy doing the lighting thing. That was really cool. You did some really awesome stuff. I loved it.
Yeah, it was fun to just be like, hey, do you want to do a thing for half an hour? And people just did, which was awesome.
Yeah, nice. Well, do you have something you want to do for us?
Yeah, I thought, Nathan specified that it shouldn't be too depressing.
Well, you're going to take us out here on the show, so.
Yeah. But I what I wanted to do, John Prine was this like huge influence on me when I first started writing or learning how to sing songs and write songs and stuff. And he passed away because of complications, and he's had like a few brushes with death, so it was tough to like have him not bounce back. But I thought I would sing one of his songs because they have sort of like a nice balance of humor and harsh reality in them. So I thought I would play Come Back to Us, Barbara Lewis, Hare Krishna, Beauregard.
Nice.
Awesome.
Well, we're going to turn off our video for this, right?
Yeah,
so
we're
people
gonna
can just focus
allow
on
people to
you,
focus on
and
you.
then we'll come back
Okay.
when we're done.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Take it away, Patty.
Well, the last time that I saw her, she was standing in the rain with an overcoat under her arm, leaning on a horsehead cane. She said, "Carl, take all the money." She called everybody Carl. My spirit's broke and my mind's a joke, and getting up's real hard. Don't you know her when you see her? She grew up in your backyard. Come back to us, Barbara Lewis, Hare Krishna, Beauregard. Selling Bibles at the airport, buying Quaaludes on the phone. You talk about a paper route, she's a shut-in without a home. Well, God save her, please, she's nailed her knees to some drugstore parking lot. Oh, Mr. Brown, turn the volume down, I believe this evening's shot. Don't you know her? If you see her, she grew up in your backyard. Come back to us, Barbara Lewis, Hare Krishna, Beauregard. Can't you picture her next Thursday? Can't you picture her at all? At the Hotel Boulderado, at the dark end of the hall. I gotta shake myself and wonder why she even bothers me. Well, if heartaches were commercials, we'd all be on TV. Don't you know her when you see her? She grew up in your backyard. Come back to us, Barbara Lewis, Hare Krishna, Beauregard. Come back to us, Barbara Lewis, Hare Krishna, Beauregard.
Yeah. That was beautiful.
That was such a nice choice.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for coming on and playing, and just keep doing what you're doing, because
Thank you. Yeah, you too. You guys are doing so great.
it's important, and we have to
Emotionally
figure it
invested.
out.
We'll figure it out.
Creatively, yeah, totally.
Yeah. Okay. Bye, Patty.
Thanks, buddy.
Bye, guys.
Thanks. See you later.
Yeah.
Wow.
Patty Reagan, everybody. That was wonderful. And that is the end of our show. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider donating to our Venmo at Vermont Comedy Club. You can also donate on the website. You can donate to our staff, our wait staff that is not working right now. And, you know, doing this is one of the great joys of our week. So thank you so much for being here with us. And hopefully we'll see you next week.